Noah Syndergaard right here on FT for the first time making his debut. Former Todd Father teammate, great big league pitcher for a long time. Thor, great to have you on, man. Look at your boy up top here, just running things in the media world these days.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Thanks for having me. Todd Father,
What
so
kind
good
of
to top five.
what kind of hair you got going on?
Oh, I put on a hat because I got a good sized pimple on up here right now, so I'm trying to cover.
Hey, at least you're honest right now. I love that about you.
And
So what?
it was Harry Potter night when I was in Charlotte a few weeks ago, so I had to take a Slytherin hat.
That's
Yeah, I like that. So talk to us a little bit about what happened. You went with the White Sox. Did you say I'm out of here? They let you go. Talk to us about that. And now what do you got going on right now?
I mean, I kind of got shafted a little bit. Not that my performance was anything to brag about, but there was like I don't know how many starting pitchers they had on that roster, so I was kind of just the odd man out. I only got 2 starts, and I was kind of just hanging out there because I mean, not competing for 2 years and going into like the high stress environment. And let me tell you, the minor leagues freaking suck.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been a true minor leaguer, but how much ramp up or how much leeway or do you feel like you would have needed because of you said you haven't competed really for consistently for 2 years. What kind of starts do you feel like you'd need? 5, 7, 10?
I've been searching for the last 3 years on where it all kind of just went wrong. Like how, I mean, I still don't have a whole lot of answers on, I mean, I do mechanically, but I don't know how I got there, how I just lost the ability to throw 100 miles an hour. I still believe that it's in there, but the mind is such a powerful tool, and the body just kind of holds on to trauma a certain way. And like when I had elbow surgery in 2020, like I was like sick, great, like COVID's ruining the world right now. There's not much going on. Sounds like the best time to have elbow surgery. But then about month 15, I had some kind of setback to where I was supposed to throw 4 innings and I threw one. I'm like, something's not right. And next day I got an MRI and Todd Father, I don't know if you remember Beamer Carr, but he was the one that looked at the original MRI. He's like, I think I see another tear in your UCL. And I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like, I couldn't have done a better rehab. All I did was eat, breathe, and sleep recovery. I lived in my hyperbaric. I did countless ice plunges, sauna sessions, ate really well. And so I'm like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think that's when my body or my mind kind of went like, oh crap, like we might be in some trouble here, because I was thinking I might not ever play baseball again. And I never got to recover from this surgery. And I still feel like I haven't really recovered from it. But I think my body just kind of went to like big brother mode. And it's like, I'm going to protect you from hurting yourself again. And then I start tinkering with my mechanics. I probably went to 10 different facilities, like top notch. I went to Tread, I went to Driveline. I've been to a place called Maven in Atlanta. Worked with countless coaches, and everyone seems to say something different. And now I'm just trying to get back to just athleticism. And like when I was really good, like I had Dan Worthen as a pitching coach, and he kept things super simple and just kind of trusted my body. And you look at a delivery now versus where it was back 2015 through 2019, and like my delivery changed a little bit, but like the main pillars or components that allowed me to be really good didn't really change. And now I'm doing all kinds of like, you look at this, I'm like leaning back, like, yeah, it just looks kind of out of whack. But it was just like I had too many cooks in the kitchen, and it kind of just fried me a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, all this, like watching you watch those highlights, I remember being a hitter and being like, oh man, how can I look like that? Do you feel like if you just go back, do you feel like you have the ability to just go back to who you were? Because you're ridiculous freak. You were so athletic. Do you feel like you're able to say, everybody out of my way, I'm going to do it my way? Or do you feel like to get a job in the game, to get yourself back on the map, you have to go to all the places that you said, and you have to be able to speak the language. Because I know Wortham was not speaking in force plates and extension rates and spin and all that stuff when we played you guys in 2015. That wasn't happening from him. So can you go back to that, or do you feel like you have to get in line with everybody and say, okay, well, I throw a heavy ball as hard as I can up against the wall, and this is that? Because you did all this with your athletic natural ability, not with some gimmick like turn, spin, throw, on a knee, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it all boiled down to is paralysis by analysis. So I think all the weighted ball stuff, I think that has its benefits for sure. The force plate mounds, I like that in terms of just routine. But I think you can get a little too fixated on that. And you look at DeGrom or Wheeler, I don't know, maybe they've changed their routine, but those guys just had the utmost confidence and trusted their stuff. And just, in between the lines, all they did was compete. And I don't think those guys are getting on force plate mounds or doing any weighted ball programs. But that's just kind of the new age stuff. And I kind of came up when it was kind of transitioning to all the Edgertronic cameras. I remember the first time they brought the Edgertronic cameras out. I think it was 2018 or 2019, and Dave Island was the pitching coach, and he sent us these pictures of the grips and stuff. I'm like, well, I don't understand. What does this mean? Am I supposed to post this on social media, my story or something? What's this information? And then I got really fixated on the TrackMan numbers, and I think there's some benefit to it there, because I remember one time I was pitching to Jay Bruce, and I think it was with the Phillies, and I threw two fastballs at 98 up and in, and had 18 inches of ride. And then the next pitch I threw in same location, it was only 14 inches of ride, and he hit it into the Pepsi porch or whatever it's called now. But I still have the utmost confidence in me to get back. It'll be a hell of a success story, and it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I'm going to continue to try, because I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in terms of mobility, strength, power, just proprioception. I think I'm in the right path. It's just you never think you're going to be in the situation, but it kind of just defines on what kind of person you are.
No doubt about it. And you've always been intricate about who you are, how you go about things. You're a big component of lifting. I love everything about this, because whenever we had our conversations, we always had good talks. And, anything you talked about, I was the exact opposite. I was the guy, let's go, grip it, rip it, let's get in there. You ever think about, now, there's so much technology, as you talked about. You ever just think about just getting on the mound and saying, you know what, screw everything else. I'm coming, I'm bringing it here. I don't need paperwork or anybody to tell me anything else. Forget about the mindset. I'm going to go on this mound when I get my next chance and just go and get after it. I don't need numbers. You know what I'm saying? You ever want to get that out of your mind and just go and say, screw everything else, let's get after it here?
Yeah, I've tried just about everything. I've tried it all. I've tried to be as mindless and dumb out there and free as much as I can. I think about anything. But when I was really good, I still thought about certain things. When the 2019 game I pitched against the Reds, pitched a complete game and hit a solo home run. There's around the fourth or fifth inning, I had this little cue where I just would tell myself to screw my leg into the ground, and that helped me load really feel into my legs. And then I would just think, stay closed and rip it. And it got to fourth, fifth inning on, it got to I could just throw with my eyes closed. And then 5 days later, I'm trying that same cue against the Padres, and it's I'm able to repeat it one in every 3 pitches. So it's just and now when I try to use those cues, my body doesn't translate it the right way. And you take one pitcher, I don't know how it is with hitting necessarily, but you could take one cue, I might translate that cue from another pitcher differently than what they might do. Like screwing the leg into the ground, they might translate that into something else. I think every athlete, I think especially with baseball, because it's like such a controlled violence, like everybody has their cue, but it might mean something completely different to another player.
Do you remember now? Let's switch gears here a little bit. Talk about something fun. We talk about the one time you had that little dust up in the first pitch to Chase Utley. Back in the day, you had Terry Collins come out and talk about my rear ends in the jackpot. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Talk to us about that whole situation. I know it's way in the past, but was there talks before? This is the guy I got to get. Did you put that on yourself? I mean, that video circles every year. And Terry Collins he had your back, and he was pumped up about the whole situation. Take us back to that time, and what was your mindset there? What was going on?
Oh man, Terry is the best. I love that guy. But I mean, and also I've heard like the best things about Chase Utley too, and I don't think that slide was intentional. I just think he plays the game so hard and is such a ball player that's just kind of what happened. But I don't think I really discussed that with anybody, and I just saw my opportunity there to take it. I think when I was younger, I also did a lot of stupid things that I didn't really think about, like throwing over Escobar's head in the World Series. And like, I think back on it and I'm like, damn, like, can't believe it. I did that, but yeah, I was so juiced in that moment that I think Rene Rivera actually called it a changeup away, and I didn't even shake. I was just already going into my delivery, and and then I was just kind of just taken back to being ejected, and I didn't really know what was going on. I just walked off the field, and I just remember walking off the field and DeGrom having that little signature smirk that he has. So that was a good time.
Anybody that you still keep in touch with that is playing from those times, like DeGrom, Harvey, any of those guys that you're like, hey, remember when this happened, or guys that you hit up on a regular, especially with DeGrom throwing the way he's been? Have you kept in contact with those guys?
A little bit. DeGrom actually lives probably like a 5-minute walk from my house, but his house is a lot nicer, and he's got a couple of them. But he's got 3 kids, maybe like even a 4th on the way. I don't really know, and so I wouldn't say I'm fortunate enough, but I don't have children right now, so I'm living a kind of different life. But I haven't really spoken to Harvey in a while. Anytime I go up to New York, I hit him up, see what he's up to. It's always nice to catch up with him. I'm trying to think who else. Any like recent guys. I haven't talked to Pete really, but I think that's super cool that he's now the home run leader for the Mets. Yeah, that's about it now. Other than like Michael Lorenzen, he's one of my good buddies.
It's difficult, dude. It's the same way for me too as well. I got a couple guys. I always tell people, it's like if you're not getting Christmas cards from these guys you play with, it's really tough to stay in touch with them. I mean, that's just something I've gone along with. Now,
I really
another
enjoy
lighter
work and hearing your voice, and then trying to harass you and FaceTime you and trying to get you to say my name on the broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. I got you hit me up. I got my buddies telling me to say a random word on a broadcast I'm doing. They're like, oh, dinner on me if you say
somewhere randomly.
Kratz, tell everyone why they need to look into a virtual private network, aka a VPN.
That's kind of like wearing trousers. It keeps everything private and secure whenever you venture out.
That's good. That's really good. And Surfshark creates user-friendly privacy and security solutions to protect your data and your privacy online. It enables you to virtually explore the globe, browse privately by encrypting your internet activity, and block ads and malware that may disrupt your experience. So go to surfshark.com/foul or use the code FOUL at checkout at surfshark.com to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. It's a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, and the FT fam is hooked up with 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN when you sign up at surfshark.com and use the code FOUL. It is time to take control of your online security. Try Surfshark today.
And I want you to tell this story. We talked about this earlier. A fun story. I remember you were messing with me on the bus one time. I forget exactly why this.
I don't have to get into details prior, but I'm honored that I was chosen for this prank as I'm still recovering from that experience. But I think we were in Minnesota the road trip before, or the city before, and I was messing you in the lobby there, and then we went to Chicago, and then I'm in the training room, and Mickey calls us all into the clubhouse and thinking it's a team meeting. And then there's this huge police officer in the middle of the clubhouse. He's like, I'm looking for Noah Syndergaard. I'm like, oh God, what did I do? And then like the video, like I wish we could play the video of it, but I walk over to my locker and I'm trying to get dressed. I just have my shorts on, and it takes me I'm so rattled. It takes me 2 minutes to get dressed. And I finally hand him my ID. He's like, all right, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. And I'm like, I blacked out at that point. And if I would have just looked around the clubhouse, I would have seen that some people were not maintaining their composure. Half the people knew, half didn't. And so, but I'm just tunnel vision. And Wheeler's like, no, what'd you do? And I'm like, I don't know, man. And the officer says something, and he takes me out, puts me in this random room, and there's a piece of paper on the table, and I start looking at it, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. And then before you know it, Fraser's barging in the room with his camera, and then the other video is next thing, as soon as I leave the room, he's just keep it together. But yeah. I tried my retaliation. I tried to get Brody. I tried to make it look like you were going to fail a drug test. But Brody was on board for that, but I didn't really know what the standard procedure was on that. But if I could have had it done, it would have been nice. But it was like a big brother, little brother moment. And I've always felt family with the Todd father. My mom is from, she'll say she's from Toms River, but she was born on the naval base there. And I think they moved when she was 3 months old. But
no, we'll take that. She knows, Jersey girl. So that was Sergeant John Connolly, by the way. Absolute beast. Came in. He's 6'7", 275 pounds, all brawn. Put him in cuffs in the locker room. I only told a couple people. So if you were to look around, some people are like, what the heck's going on? And other people DeGrom, he couldn't control it. I almost kicked him. I'm like, I wanted him out of there. But
that guy deserves an Oscar for his performance.
Yeah, it was those type of things are what makes the year special for everybody. You need that type of stuff during the year because it gets so boring sometimes in that locker room, as we all know. So fun stories.
When I was with the Angels in 22 to one of our young guys, but I guess things have gotten a little soft over there. They couldn't make it happen.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. And I remember locking you in where did I lock you in New York? In the the sauna. Remember you were in the sauna right by the hot tub there in City Field, and
yeah. Okay, I thought when you said New York, I thought you meant we were on the road at the Yankee Stadium. But
no. I locked in there.
I'm gonna have a panic attack in there.
That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Getting locked in a sauna. I would fight you, Todd. I would fight you.
He was only in there for 10 minutes. It wasn't bad.
It made me tougher.
That's good. Yeah. Well, the Mets let you do stuff. Do you run into Mets fans often, Noah? Do you miss the vibes that the Mets fans brought, during those times?
Yeah, Mets fans are everywhere. I was just in Austin with my girlfriend, and we went to some piano bar, and when we were leaving, this guy's like, "Oh, my mom is a huge Mets fan." I'm like, "Oh, your mom or you are? You can just say." But and anytime I go up to New York, I'll just be casually riding a city bike on the street, and then people will recognize me. That's one of my favorite things to do.